Hello again, this is Mark Summers from Summers Technical Services. We're continuing on with our assignment for GD&T, multiple assignments. And we've already made the part models. You've made your assembly model with all the design library parts. So it should look something like this. Now we need to make an an exploded view inside the assembly model. So you'll just open up your assembly model. And you'll start the exploded view by clicking on, you're on the assembly tab, just click on exploded view, and it's saying, hey, let's start this exploded view. So the first blue box here is I'm telling SolidWorks what parts do I want to explode out. And so my plan is to take the top plate and all the fasteners that stay with the top plate, explode them up, including the pin that goes with it. Same thing with the bottom plate, explode the bottom plate down with all of its related fasteners and pin, and then explode the fasteners away from the plate, and then I think I'll be done. So I want to grab all these parts on the top here. So I want to click on this guy, and I want to control click all these parts that I want to have go all up together. So I get those two guys, I need these two guys, I need these three, and control click these three, and I need one pin. This is the pin that's fixed to the plate, so it's going to follow up with the plate. So I'm going to control click that one. That's all the parts I need. Now I'm just going to pull this thing up some amount that looks good, and then I can say, okay, let's just make it exactly 3 inches away. And then you don't hit approve, you say done, because I'm done with this exploded step and I'm ready to do the next exploded step. So I'm going to say done, and now I'll pick my next sets of parts. So I'm going to go this guy, control click this other pin, control click my 2 socket head cap screws and my 2 flathead screws. Everything there needs to go down, and so I want to drag them down on the y-axis, and I want to make that go down about 3 inches maybe. And again, I'm going to say done. Now I'm going to take these fasteners and pin on the top, and I'm going to explode them up to show how they go into the holes. And so maybe the first thing I'll do is grab these fasteners. So I want to go this guy, control click, and then these guys here and these guys here, and then drag them up for another step here. So these are all going up. Oh, I missed this one right here. That's a bummer. So I'm just going to add it to the list here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm still on the blue box. I'm just adding more fasteners. So now I got them all, and maybe I'll decide those need to go up. I don't know, they don't need to go up that far. Maybe 2 inches. It seems reasonable. Or maybe 3 inches. I can change these later. And I'm going to say done. And now I'm going to grab this pin and drag him up separately, because he's kind of a separate thing. And I'll make him go up 3 inches. And then I want to say done again, because now I got to go to the bottom and do the same thing on the bottom. So I'm going to pull these away from the plate. So I want to go this guy, 2 fasteners, and pull them down, click and hold, drag those down, make it all symmetric, make this 3 inches as well. And I didn't want to pull that pin. I wanted to do it separately, so I can just select him and he'll go back where he belongs. So now I've got those going up 3 inches. I'll say done. And then now I need to do one more. Maybe I didn't need to make these separate steps, but I did it anyway, so what the heck. So there's 3 inches on that one. And now I think I'm done. So I'll say okay. And so I've got this thing, I've defined this exploded view in the configuration manager. So there's a configuration manager. I'm in the model tab. If I go to the configuration manager, open this up. Here's my exploded view I just made. If I double click it, it'll suppress it. If I double click it again, it'll come on. If I want to go crazy here, I can do an animated collapse and kind of watch it go together, and that might be useful. And first thing I'm going to look at is this. These shadows drive me crazy, so I'm going to turn these shadows off. So click the color wheel here, display manager, click this tab here, view scene, lights and camera. Right click on this first tab and say floor reflection off. Right click, foreshadow off. So that makes it, for me anyway, a little bit more viewable. shadows bother me. All right, we still got a shadow there for some reason. But all right, so now the second step is to do exploded. What does it call it? Exploded line sketch. So we're going to draw what I call trails on these things to show where these parts go to be reassembled. And so I want to click on exploded view, or not going to click on it. I'm on the assembly tab, exploded view, use the pull down and say exploded line sketch. And this makes a 3D sketch of all of these explode steps that I did. And so I want this one, and I want to flip the arrow, so I want to have that point down, I think. And I need one for, I'm going to do one for all these corners here. If it's going, the arrow's going the wrong way, you can just click it to flip it. I'm going to click that circle. I don't select the cylindrical feature. I like to select the circle, flip the arrow, that circle, flip the arrow. And I want those to all go down all the way to this other plate here. So now I want to click on this circle here, and that's not what I want. So I want to get out of here and start over. That was not good. All right, I want each one to individually go all the way through. So I'm going to start over. So I'm going to click again on, where did it go? Assembly. I'm going to click again on exploded line sketch. And I'm going to try again here. I want to go from here. I got to do one at a time. I want to delete this and start over. Delete that 3D sketch. Okay, my exploded view is still there. I'm going to start over, pretend like nothing happened. Exploded view, exploded line sketch. I want to grab that circular feature right there. I want to flip the arrow, and I want that individual one to go all the way down to here. And I'll say OK. So that makes one route line. Now I'm going to do the next one. It's waiting for the next one now. I'm going to do this circle, flip that direction, and I want that to extend all the way down to this hole. And do that 2 more times. From here, flip it. And this just automates the process of making this 3D sketch. I didn't grab the right thing. Delete that. I want to go to the circle. There we go. And so click this circle, flip the direction, and go to this circle. And I'm done with that one. Okay, now I'm going to explode these fasteners, and they need to go all the way down to, let's do these 2 fasteners here. So this one is going to start here, flip it, it's going to go down to here, prove that one. This one's going to go down, flip that one, if I can find it. Here we go. It'll go down to here. Prove that one, and hopefully by now you get the idea. There's a circular feature to start. It chose the right direction. That needs to go to here. Okay, and I'll do the same thing for these other fasteners. Now that I'm thinking about it, would have been a whole lot smarter if I just would have done one from this circle and just go all the way down to this guy. That would have been a smarter thing to do. Now I've got 2 of them. I've taken twice as long as I should have, but you get the idea. So these guys should go all the way down to the threaded hole here. So make all those exploded. All the parts should have a path, a trail that tells you where to go back to. And then these will be the same way, going back up the other way. So I'm not going to show you all of them, but you get the idea. So you'll have a nice exploded view when you're done. And so that is... shows you how to do the exploded view. And when you go back to the assembly model, you're going to be annoyed because when you go back to the model, it's going to show this exploded view. So you can, I got to hit rebuild here for some reason. And so when you double click on the exploded view, it collapses back like it was in the assembly model. When you make your assembly model, you want it to be like it looks assembled, and that's the way it looks now. And so if you're in your configuration manager and you've activated the exploded view, then you're going to see it exploded. And so if I come back here, double click on exploded view, and then I go back to my assembly tab, my model tab, it's going to show it exploded. So normally this is what I want to show on the assembly drawing, so I can show all the balloons and show all the items exploded. But what you're going to want to do is normally you want to double click on exploded view 1 and to deactivate it, and it's back like it was. Another thing to know is that you can edit all these steps individually. So if I double click, turn exploded view back on 1, if I want to edit these, I can just right click as always and say edit explode step, and I can add, remove parts. I can change these directions. I can make it move in XYZ. I can actually have things rotate. You can do all that stuff. So you can edit these individually. And you can also change the order. If you don't like the order in which you did it, you can drag these up and down and reorder them to play in whatever order you want. So anyway, for this assignment, make an exploded view, looks something like this, and put the trails, I call them trails, they call them exploded line sketch, showing where all the parts go back to be assembled. And then we'll use this in our assembly model, assembly drawing that we'll make, and that'll be the next video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.